2026 can just go dig a hole in the ground and go die at this point, because if you've had livestock, you probably know how it is, but there are some times where you just don't know where all the bad karma came from, but it just keeps showing up in random forms. So if you've been following my story, you know that we were planning on building a sheep barn, another addition, a bigger barn, to accommodate our growing flock of Katahdin hair sheep. And unfortunately, my 2017 Chevy Silverado decided it was going to not pass inspection by the frame rusting out entirely. And this happened over the summer. We really had to pull a trigger on a new truck. And that obviously took precedence over the new building of the sheep barn. And honestly, if you haven't checked out loan rates, I had applied for funding through the Farm Service Agency, because that's who we've gone through, because we didn't inherit a farm. We didn't get anything special handed to us or given to us. We've worked for every little bit of it that we have, except for the cows. But I had a lot of sweat equity into those cows, and honestly, my dad only ever purchased me 2 of them, and the rest of them I have either bought or bred myself to create the herd that I have now. Roughly 1 year ago, I filled out an application for an operating loan. I believe it was to construct this new sheep building, and the interest rate on that was 6%. So I know that interest rates have been crazy. Our economy is in the toilet right now, but if you're planning on getting an operating loan, be prepared for sticker shock. And the APR on the truck was nothing to write home about either, and we went through our local credit union. Long story short, we didn't pull the trigger on the new barn, and I didn't sell as many ewes as I had planned on selling this past fall. So we had a lot of females coming into winter, and because we have had a little bit of an overpopulation, that has caused some complications. So if you're not familiar, these sheep who genetically, and these are not first-time mamas that are having these problems, sheep that genetically and historically have not had an issue with this, if you keep them in too close of quarters, issues are bound to happen. So I should be buying stock right now in Premier One or Valley Vet Supply and their prolapse harnesses, because I now have 3 ewes that have prolapses that are being retained by the harness. Not ideal, and not something that I've really ever had to deal with on this scale. So keep that in mind. I'm all about educating here. If you have sheep and you're dealing with a similar situation, perhaps of overpopulation in a smaller area than they should be, you will end up dealing with prolapses in females that historically have never had prolapses before. There is definitely a management aspect to it. It's not just strictly genetic related, because I hear a lot of people that say, I call females that have those problems, which is totally fine. We all manage animals differently. I just find it interesting that experienced mamas who are carrying, I would guess, no more than what they have carried before, bred to the same ram, so the lambs should be roughly the same size, are now having issues with vaginal prolapses. That's just part of my complication. I haven't really posted a ton of all of the drama that's been going on. I am really making an effort coming into spring, and with all of the crazy things that are bound to be happening during lambing and calving, because I actually have calves due before the lambs will be born. But I will do my best to document as much of that as I can, because again, I'm all about educating and trying to provide information so that people don't make the same stupid mistakes as I have made. So I also have a ewe lamb that has bottle jaw right now. Again, overpopulating causes a whole lot of issues. And thankfully, there's only one. So I think that means that the parasite resiliency in my flock is pretty darned good. But we've never had an issue with this until this year. So just keep that in mind. Overpopulating in any species, not a great thing. So when I just came down here, I noticed that this wonderful girl 257 was laying down uncharacteristically while the rest of them are eating dinner. You can't see, I have another like 20 sheep over there that are currently munching on the hay I just forked out for them. And she was straining, she was pushing, and the due dates I have clocked for these sheep is early April, because we put the rams in. It was actually right before Veterans Day was when the ram went in. Gestation's about 5 months. I timed it so that they would start lambing over spring break. So as long as some little creative ram lambs that I couldn't catch that were a little bit on the smaller side didn't catch them, and I end up with accidental babies, which, let's be honest, with the way my year is going right now, it's probably what's going to happen. But they should be due right around spring break when school is off for that. So hopefully, Daffodil, don't be so nasty. She's forced to be there. So I'm going to use the spoon because she's still pushing it out with the harness on her. And guess what I didn't do after my AI breeding last night with the wonderful setting of TikTok? Want to take a break? I didn't disable it, so that's why that video cut short. Anyway, I will keep an eye on her and make sure she doesn't push this spoon out. That's what that thing is called. And if she does, I will then secure it with string or baling twine to either side of these straps, because there are holes in the edges of this that you can tie to these straps to ensure that she can't push it out anymore. So have fun, sweetheart. Good luck. It is frigidly cold and time for me to go inside and probably bake a cake with my 8-year-old, which is totally random, but that's a new like mother-son activity that we've kind of started doing, and he really enjoyed it last week. So we're gonna do it again. Just if you're looking for something to do, bake a cake for no reason, and it is actually a really good time. So anyway, have a good night.